Hey guys, my name's Gavin and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a holiday piano beat inside of FL Studio. And yeah, so follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at gavinhadley_. So I always want to work with people. Feel free to shoot me a DM. I'll most likely respond to it. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. We're really close to 800. Let's get there sometime soon, and let's shoot for like 25 likes on the video today. And it's a piano beat, and I'm going to show you guys how I made it. So yeah, let me throw on the headset and we'll get into it. Also, I'm in a new kind of arrangement right now. You can actually see like the other side of my room. I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I really like the setup a whole lot more in front of me. And yeah, let's get into it. So I used a lot of non-Omnisphere plugins, basically all non-Omnisphere plugins. I actually don't have Omnisphere in my FL Studio. I have it installed still, but I'm just trying not to use it. Cause I feel like as producers sometimes we rely on it. But yeah, so I actually made this on stream yesterday. I started by doing this basic kind of little melody chord kind of thing right here. Like this is a minor chord right here, but I just moved this note over. And here we're just going up the scale. But instead, and this is another A minor chord, but instead of just going like straight up like on the grid like this, I put this one over to give it kind of like a bounce because it's a triplet. So that's why I did that. So this is what this first part sounds like. Actually, I'll get rid of this top part. And I just lower these bass notes right here down to G because I was trying to get kind of like a downwards emotional kind of feel. And I bring these notes up right here, just using notes in the scale. Nick Mira does this in one of his tutorials. It's really just finding a note that's in your scale. For this, we were working in A sharp minor, and I'll change it so you can see exactly what that looks like here. So all these notes are in the scale. I just wanted to pick one to switch it up because I thought it was a little bit too repetitive if just the Fs were playing. So yeah, think of the Fs as just like our bass kind of place that we're trying to lead back to, like how these goes up and then it goes back to an F sharp right here, and then it's right back to the F. So yeah, it's kind of just like our root, like our first point, I guess. I guess that kind of makes sense. But then here, I just copied and pasted these A sharps. I just put them down to an A2 here for like a bass note. And then here, same thing with that, just put it down low. And now here I filled in chords with the rest. So if I were to move these down, let me undo the first melody part. Okay, so if I were to have moved, I just kept bass notes here. So these are the same thing as these, just move down. And now after that, I'll put these down again. And now here we have our chords. So this is an F sharp major chord, an F minor chord, and then F sharp major chord again. And now this is just a root and seventh. Wait, fifth or seventh. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. So it's not really a full chord, but I like the way these two chords accented each other and brought us back to the start of the melody. Because I say it in all my videos, but the start, like how you transition back to the start is so important. Okay, so after that, let me not do that. Okay, I'm gonna highlight this so it loops. And now I'll talk about this top line. So I actually played the top line pretty roughly on my MIDI keyboard that's right here. And it was really rough. If you have a MIDI keyboard or are considering to get one, I would definitely recommend that you do get one, just because they allow you to get a lot of ideas that you wouldn't normally get out by just clicking in notes on the keyboard. So yeah, if I was clicking in notes on the keyboard, I probably wouldn't have these repetitive notes right here, just creating kind of a rhythm for us. But since I did, I was able to kind of create that. So we start in F, and it's basically just finding notes on the keyboard that fit in to the scale, obviously, and then just playing them in a cool way. So I just have like a group of a couple notes here in this range that I use. So just going down. So this is the call right here, and then this is kind of the response. And so basically think of it like this is saying something, and this is like answering back and creating kind of a sense of like completion. And then this is the second call I have, this area right here. and this. And if you don't have like a definitive call and response in your melody, in most cases, if you're going for like a melodic piano beat like this for the holiday, you should have one, just because otherwise there isn't like really too much of a sense of direction. So yeah, there's that, and then it's pretty repetitive, to be honest. I have a grace note right here. Just move this one over slightly, lower the velocity on it a lot, because I thought that it sounded better, it blended in better that way. But yeah. And I originally, this note was just right here when I played it, but I feel like I needed to add a little bit of variation. And don't be afraid to just experiment, like where you put your notes. Put them in just completely random spots. I feel like that's like one of the keys to making unique melodies, is trying just unique random ideas that you don't think will work. Like how I did with just having the bass notes right here and then transitioning into full out chords right here. Speaking of that, I need to move these back up, because I inverted the third of the chord, put it up an octave, giving it a more spaced out kind of feel. Okay, so then these are going down the scale and then back up. And this melody, it doesn't have as much of a wave shape, but if you think of like these notes not being as repetitive, it's like going up and back down and then up again. It's like it does have a wave shape, not like, it's like if I were to put this up right here, then you can see the wave shape kind of taking form. But yeah, I talk about the wave shape in all my videos. It really helps make more dynamic, kind of fuller, more movement to those type of melodies. So yeah, that's basically it. This just loops over again, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Press Alt R to randomize all of these. I threw it in the mixer, added Ozone 8 elements just to give it a little bit more of like a realistic kind of piano sound, add a little bit more high end to it. And then after that, all I did was copy the piano onto an expand to like strings preset. I'll find the exact one here. It is the spiccato strings down from the strings area in expand. So yeah, I just layered them on top. That's what they sound like. Alright, so after that, let's see, because I experimented around with this flute, didn't end up using the flute, so I won't show it, but I have this bell, a really simple pattern that I played out on the MIDI keyboard. And then I felt like when I was playing these two notes back and forth, I don't know if you guys kind of relate to this, but like when you're making a melody, there's always going to be that one note in like a simple pattern like this that really like works and does a good job concluding like a sequence like right here, and it gives it like a sense of completion. So that's the note. I thought it was C sharp that did a really good job of that, and it really satisfied my ear. So that's all I had for that. That's just a one shot. I added a little bit of reverb to it, and I added a little bit of retro color to the strings, the cassette Bad Batteries, and I just turned down a bunch of the knobs and turned down the overall mix of it as well. So that's that. Now I have this bass from Contact. It's a Scarby Rickenbacker bass. And I added a little bit of distortion to it. And I don't know why, but it like turns itself down the more it plays. So like towards the end, I don't know, it works as like a good just like background element, and it's just following the root notes of our chords that we made in that bass piano melody. So yeah, that's that. And now I have this sound. Now this is from a free VST. It's called Synth 1. Just look that up, Synth 1 VST. You can find it. It has a bunch of cool random sounds that you can put cool effects on to bring out like a cooler element to the sound. Like here I put Little Altar Boy, turn the pitch up in whole octave, and then I didn't even blend it back. I just like the way it sounds. So this is what it sounded like without it. It's like a little bit more of that low end, and now with it. And now that's basically it, except I did do something pretty cool. I actually recorded my own vocal chop, which I've been doing a lot more since I rearranged into the setup, because I can literally just move my mic over this way. Like, you can barely hear me right now. I can stand up and I can record vocals, and I feel cool while I do it. I feel powerful. And I recommend, if you can avoid like closing yourself off in your setup. I know those kind of look cool, like where you walk around the desk to like an area and you have a wall behind you. I don't really recommend doing that because you kind of feel kind of cramped. And like with this, I can just stand up, go around my whole room, and do whatever I want freely. Whether that's like record vocals, and like all my loops lately, I've actually been recording the vocals into them. So yeah, this is what I ended up making. What I do, I turn auto-tune on. It's this free auto-tune plugin, if I can find it here. It's called Graylian 2, and you can just go up to the presets and find whatever key you're in. And I leave the default stuff so I sound like really auto-tune. Like I could say something and be like, woo, 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 like all crazy. But then I just mumble random stuff into the mic and like hum random things, and I'll try to find the vocal chop that I ended up coming up with. So this is it. Alright, so here it is. So that's what I came up with. All I did was add a little bit of EQ to it, some reverb, and then like the EQ, I took out the highs and the lows to give it like a more underwater kind of feel, like tuck it in the background. And then I added a little bit more reverb to it. I originally had this gross beat preset on it, but I ended up taking it out. I thought it sounded cool, but I just wanted to go for something a little bit simpler and less cluttered. So yeah, that's why I did that. And then that is all the sounds of the melody. After that, I exported them all out to audio files. As you can see here, it took a little bit to get what I wanted to get, but after I did, I structured all the sounds out right here. Disregard this one down here. That's after I bounce everything out, and I just have one sound playing at a time. I chopped off the ends to make sure that they don't overlap, and like create reverb on the next sound, because that's always not fun for producers to have to chop up. After that, I exported it out as an audio file. I'll mute this, and then I pitched it down one semitone, which makes the scale now in A minor. I routed it to my mixer right here, added a little bit of cassette. I really blended it back though. Ozonate Elements, what preset did I use? The guitar depth preset. I really just mess around with these until I find something that I like. And then Little Altar Boy, I put it up an octave, and then I dragged the blending mode back a lot, as you can see. And that's about it for the loop. I'll play the finished loop for you right now. So yeah, that's about it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As per usual, follow me on Instagram. Again, suggest videos that you would like to see me do. I know I have to do one on recording these type of vocals. I really want to do one on that. I think it's a cool idea that producers should definitely incorporate into their whole beat making routine, because it's really creative. And like your voice, I don't know, you're able to do so many like random things with your voice that you wouldn't be able to just do with the MIDI keyboard. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed again. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Comment what you think of my green room. I know I love it. It's awesome. Totally wasn't the worst decision I've ever made from 3rd grade, but yeah, definitely painting that. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day. Peace out.